We're talking just 6 millimeters long. It's so minuscule that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around what's actually going on in there. But do not let that tiny number fool you, because the sheer amount of biological complexity packed into that 6 millimeter space is just staggering. Moving on to section 2, and this is really the core focus of this week: how organs form at 6 weeks. So even though it's still very much an embryo, an absolute masterpiece of biological engineering is happening right this second. The crucial foundations of the brain and the nervous system are being laid down first. From there, these tiny little limb buds are actually beginning to form into arms and legs, and microscopic areas are appearing that are eventually going to be ears. In the center of all this, there's a noticeable bulge marking the early heart, and the liver is already taking shape. It's a complete physiological blueprint coming to life in a space smaller than your fingernail.
Which brings us to section 3, the symptom roller coaster.
This is the exact week where so many people stop in their tracks and ask themselves, wait, why do I suddenly feel so radically different? Look, if you're suddenly bone-tired, nauseous, or just totally overwhelmed by physical changes, your feelings are incredibly valid. Your body is working overtime, flooding your system with hormones to support this tiny, rapid organ development we just talked about. And let's clear something up right now about one of the most famous symptoms. The idea of morning sickness is a total myth. I mean, whoever named it that was seriously mistaken. Nausea is a huge factor right now, but as you might quickly discover, it absolutely doesn't just happen in the morning. It can hit in the afternoon, late at night, or basically whenever your body chooses violence. It is anytime sickness, for sure, and it's completely normal. You might actually be dealing with a whole barrage of these wild changes. Beyond the nausea, there's extreme tiredness, tender breasts, maybe even this weird metallic taste in your mouth. Yeah, that's a real thing. You might find yourself running to the bathroom constantly, feeling bloated, having mild cramps, or just riding a huge wave of mood swings. But remember, and I can't stress this enough, every single pregnancy is completely different. Some experience severe symptoms, some mild, and some incredibly lucky few barely notice a thing. Okay, section 4, the super smell phenomenon. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly thought, ugh, who is cooking that? Only to realize it's actually a food you normally love? Suddenly you just can't stand the smell of it. Or maybe your favorite go-to perfume has become completely unbearable. Basically, your senses are being totally rewired by pregnancy hormones. Food cravings and aversions hit really hard around week 6. You might suddenly crave something completely random or lose all interest in your usual staples. So, if your partner sits down next to you with some delicious fried chicken and your new superhuman sense of smell forces you to literally flee the room, well, know that you're definitely not alone. It's just your body doing its thing. Next up, section 5, detecting the heartbeats. This is the moment everyone gets anxious about. As we learned a minute ago, the early heart is rapidly forming, and that distinct bulge is definitely there. But we have to be super careful and temper our expectations about what we can actually see and detect at this exact moment. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the difference between what is technically possible and what is actually common. It is possible that early cardiac activity might be detectable right now if you're using a very sensitive vaginal ultrasound. However, 6 weeks is incredibly early. Whether it can be seen depends entirely on exactly how far along you actually are, the type of ultrasound, and the equipment they're using. So if you go in for an early scan and don't see that cardiac activity right away, please do not automatically panic. You might just be a few days earlier than originally estimated. Your doctor will know exactly what the next steps should be. Wrapping things up with section 6, your week 6 checklist. To support all this wild organ formation and manage those shifting hormones, you've got to cover the basics. First, start or keep up with your prenatal care. Second, make sure you're taking your recommended folic acid. That is absolutely vital for the nervous system development we talked about. Third, try your best to eat a balanced diet and stay hydrated, though we know that can be super tough with the nausea. And of course, avoid alcohol and smoking entirely. Oh, and a quick tip, definitely consult your doctor before tweaking any medications and reach out to them if severe vomiting means you literally can't keep fluids down. And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates the magic of week 6. It absolutely blows my mind that your body is constructing the foundations of a human life. A brain, a heart, nerves, limbs, all inside a space the size of a single pea. It's adapting completely to support it, all while you're just walking around the grocery store, looking exactly the same to the outside world. So, we would love to hear from you. If you've been through this, or if you're right in the thick of it now, Drop down in the comments and tell us, which of these wild symptoms hit you the hardest this week? Was it the endless nausea?